Chapter 9, Part 3, The Pagan Origins of the Trinity. The worship of a triune deity appears in many of the earliest cultures of the world. For example, the Trinity of Babylon. Babylon comes from the word Babel, meaning confusion. In the Bible, Babylon is identified with Satan, Isaiah 14, Revelation 17:18. The Trinity concept originated in ancient Babylon, from which it was passed on to most of the world's religions. Quote, the Trinity got its start in Babylon with Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis, the first divine incomprehensible Trinity. The apostate Roman Church adopted the Trinity God of ancient Babylon. The Two Babylons, Minister Alexander Hislop, 1916, page 51. Quote, the ancient Babylonians recognized the doctrine of a Trinity, or three persons in one God, a composite God with three heads. The Mystical Woman and the Cities of the Nations, T.D. Rock, 1867, page 22. The Trinity of India. In the Puranas, ancient religious texts of Hinduism, the three gods Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are reported to have said, quote, there is no real distinction between us. The single being appears under three forms, but is one. History of Civilization, E. A. Allen, 1889, Volume 4, page 624. Quote, in Hinduism, the threefold manifestations of the one Supreme Being, as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, was thus sung of by the Kalidasa, 55 BC. In these three persons, the one God is shown. The Origin of Triads and Trinities, John Newton, 1909, page 21. Quote, Hindus acknowledge that God is one, yet Hinduism is also polytheistic, populated with gods who personify aspects of the one true God. Brahma is the first member of the Hindu Trinity. Vishnu is the second. Shiva is the third. Hinduism for Dummies, Armature Srinivasan, 2011. The Trinity of Egypt. Quote, the Trinity was a major preoccupation of Egyptian theologians. The spiritual force of Egyptian religion shows a direct link with Christian theology. Egyptian religion, Siegfried Morenz, 1973, page 255. Quote, from Egypt came the ideas of a divine Trinity. The Story of Civilization, William Durant, Part 3, page 595. Quote, the indebtedness of Christian theological theory to ancient Egyptian dogma is nowhere more striking than in the Trinity doctrine. The very same terms used of the Trinity doctrine by Christian theologians are met again in the inscriptions and papyri of Egypt. The Gifford and Hibbert Lectures, A.H. Sayce, Professor, Oxford University, 1902. The Trinity of Greece. Quote, the Greek Trinity is a system of tritheism, three gods, Zeus, Athena, and Apollo, said to, quote, agree in one. Systematic Theology, A.H. Strong, 1886, Volume 1, page 283. Quote, the belief that in God are three persons who subsist in one nature is not a biblical belief. Person and nature as applied to God, are Greek philosophical terms which do not appear in the Bible. The Dictionary of the Bible, Anglican Trinitarian John L. Mackenzie, 1995. Quote, the language of the doctrine is taken from classical Greek philosophy. Christian Doctrine, Professor S. Guthrie, Columbia Theological Seminary, 1994, page 76. Quote, we find Christianity tending to absorb Greek philosophical values until, by the end of the 3rd century, the line between the beliefs of educated Christians and educated pagans in the East would often be hard to draw. The Rise of Christianity, W.H.C. Friend, 1985, page 368. The Trinity of Plato. The Greek philosopher Plato, 425 to 345 BC, brought the concepts of ancient pagan tritheism forward in his own speculations on the divine realm. These, in turn, profoundly impacted the theology of 2nd and 3rd century Christianity. Quote, the Platonic Trinity gave birth to the idea of 3 divine persons taught by the Christian churches. Plato's conception of the divine Trinity can be found in all ancient pagan religions. Nouveau Dictionnaire Universel, M. Lachatre, 1865, Volume 2, page 1467. Quote, in 2nd century Christianity, the single deity of the Jews had been exchanged for the Trinity, which Plato had idealized into a philosophic system. The Martyrdom of Man, W. W. Reed, 1892, page 230. Quote, many learned men came over from paganism to Christianity, bringing with them their Platonic ideas and phraseology. McClintock and Strong's Cyclopedia of Biblical Literature, 1891, Volume 10, page 553. The protestations of Trinity apologists notwithstanding, it is clear that the Trinity, found neither in word nor concept anywhere in the Bible, was handed down from Babylon and transmitted through successive generations of paganism until it was ultimately engrafted onto a Judeo-Christianity which it directly contradicted.